Greetings from Tucson, Arizona, and welcome to another episode of Living in Tucson, your Tucson real estate connection. And hot off the press, the numbers are out for the Tucson housing market update for June 2023. We're going to dive on into the numbers. Hello, my name's Tyler Ford, Tucson, Arizona, and welcome to another episode of my Tucson Housing Market Report, where each and every month when the numbers come out, we dive on in and let you know what's going on here in the Tucson housing market. But the numbers are out and there's no major sign of a pullback. Inventory levels remain low and the median home sales price is holding strong. So again, we're going to dive into the numbers and get you up to speed in terms of what's going on here in the Tucson housing market. Before I go over the numbers for the Tucson housing market report, I like to touch on what mortgage interest rates are doing. And we're definitely off the highs of where we were. We had a pullback. The most recent FOMC meeting, the feds came out and said there's a potential that they could start raising rates again just because the numbers were really good in terms of the job reports and a few other numbers. So rates have ticked up slightly. They're off the highs, but again, a little bounce off of the pullback of the lows of where we were. So right now on a 30-year fixed, we're sitting at 6.81%. And on a 15-year fixed, we're sitting at 6.24%. The first number I want to cover is what we call percentage of list. And that is when a seller lists a home in the MLS, what percentage of the list price is a seller getting? And in a normal healthy market, percentage of list is anywhere from about 92 to 97%. We've been well above that. We've had a pullback since. So it's been more of a buyer-friendly market compared to what we were during COVID. So there's a little bit of wiggle room for negotiating because we're not above 100%. So percentage of list for single family homes listed in the MLS for June 2023 was 99.2%. For townhomes and condos, it was exactly the same, 99.2%. So if you're a seller out there, it's really important to price your home correctly. Look at the comps, because pricing your home correctly at the end of the day will drive more demand, traffic to your property, and in turn allow you to get more money for your home. If you're a buyer out there, there's a little bit of wiggle room to negotiate price and or some seller concessions. So again, percentage of list for single family homes, townhomes, and condos for June 2023 was exactly the same, 99.2%. The next number I want to go over is what we call months supply of inventory. And that is if no other homes were to hit the market today, how long would it take for all the inventory to be sold off in the MLS? This is called month supply of inventory. So month supply of inventory for single family homes in the MLS was 1.8 months or 54 days. For townhomes and condos, month supply of inventory was 1 month or 30 days. So again, this is all based on low inventory levels and month supply of inventory. If no other homes were to hit the market today, you could anticipate all the inventory would be gone within a couple of months. The next thing I'm going to go over is what we call days on market. And that is when somebody lists a home in the MLS, how long does it take for the property to go under contract? It's not from the time that you list until the time that it sells, but from the time that you list until it actually goes under contract, which is days on market, or DOM for short. So days on market for single family homes in the MLS for June 2023 was 41 days. So from the time that you list a home until the time that it goes under contract, 41 days is the average. For townhomes and condos, the average days on market was 24 days for June 2023. But if you're a seller out there and you're starting to exceed days on market, it usually means you need to take a look at price, and you could potentially be overpriced. So it's good to revisit the comps, see what's active contingent, what's recently sold, and just make sure your home's priced correctly. And days on market will give you a good idea of whether or not you're overpriced, if it's still sitting on the market, if your property's exceeding the days on market. By now, you're probably asking what's going on with home prices here in Tucson, Arizona. And I'm going to go over the median home sales price for June 2023. But from month to month, there's really no big change. We're holding strong, and home values have basically gone sideways month over month. We're up year over year. So again, I'm going to cover inventory levels, and in my opinion, until we see inventory levels dramatically go up, home values will continue to hold. So the median home sales price here in Tucson, Arizona for single family homes was $398,650, up year over year 3.5%, and month over month, no big change. It was about the same for May of 2023. For townhomes and condos, the median home sales price was $270,250, up year over year 2%, and month over month, it was up about $5,000. So again, home values are holding strong, and typically in the summer months, right about now from July until September is the lull in our market, where inventory levels do start to creep up a little bit and home prices could soften slightly. But again, home values are holding strong here in Tucson, Arizona. The next number I'm going to cover is my favorite number, and that is home inventory levels. Economics 101, supply and demand. And over the last couple of years since COVID hit, inventory levels went down, supply went up, which has put massive pressure on home values upwards and double-digit appreciation rates year over year for the last couple of years. But home inventory started to tick up slightly. Fed started to raise rates, which actually put the brakes on the housing market, and home values have been going sideways since. So again, for me, it's all about supply and demand, about inventory. It's something that I watch on a daily basis. And I know there's a lot of people out there thinking this market is going to melt down, but I'm just not seeing it unless we see a massive increase in home inventory levels. And just to give you a little bit of perspective, if you look at the national home inventory levels, when the last meltdown happened, 2007, 2008, there were a total of well over 4 million active listings in the MLS, which was a ton of inventory, and that's why the market crashed and home values went down. But as of right now, we're sitting at just over a little over 1 million active listings, which is a very low supply for the US. In order to get back to an equilibrium, we'd need about double the amount of listings. So we need to get back to about 2 million listings in order to have an equilibrium supply and demand in terms of the housing market. That's what's going on in the national level, just to give you a little perspective. And now we're going to dive into the Tucson home inventory levels. Now we're going to go over what's going on here in Tucson for home inventory levels. And over the last 6 months, home inventory levels have started to pull back again. We were off the lows, home inventory levels started to go up. We were starting to see a softening in our market. And then over the last 6 months, home inventory levels have gone down again, which is why if you look at the last couple months, we've seen the median home sales price go up. And in my opinion, it has everything to do with supply and demand. So right now in the MLS, there are currently 1,593 active single-family homes listed in the MLS, which is down year over year 13.4%. So again, home inventory levels have started to decrease again, which is why home values are holding. For townhomes and condos, there are only 157 active listings, and we're down 28.6% year over year in terms of townhomes and condos. And if you look at townhomes and condos, days on market, you look at the median sales price, it's a hot commodity just because as home values have increased, home affordability for single family homes has gotten super expensive. So people are gravitating more towards townhomes and condos from an affordability standpoint. So that's a really, really competitive market right now just because of affordability. So for our market to start to soften, again, in my opinion, we need to see home inventory here in Tucson more than double to get us back to an equilibrium level. If you're somebody that wants to geek out on the numbers, I would encourage you to head on over to my website, Tucson Homes and Lots. And if you go to the homepage and scroll down, you're going to see a button here that says Tucson Monthly Market Update. If you click on that, it takes you over to my blog post that I do each and every month that goes over the numbers that I'm going over here. But if you scroll down to the bottom, there is a link that says Tucson Housing Market, the full report. If you click on that, it's going to pull up a PDF that has a ton of really good information. I go over my favorite numbers, but again, there's a lot more data that you can dive on into if you're somebody that wants to geek out on the numbers. So that's a wrap for the June 2023 Tucson Housing Market Report. But just to summarize things, home values continue to hold strong due to low inventory levels. If you're a seller out there, it's a great time to sell just because inventory levels remain low. The one thing that I would encourage you to do is look at the comps, price your home correctly. Don't overprice your home. Overpricing your home can be the detriment to any listing, but by pricing it correctly, you're going to drive more demand, more traffic, when in turn will net you more money. If you're a buyer out there, I know it doesn't feel like it, but it is a little bit more buyer friendly just because inventory levels have gone up a little bit. Days on market's gone up a little bit, percentage of list has gone down. So there is a little bit of wiggle room if you're a buyer out there. But if you're somebody that's buying or selling, reach out to myself or team. We would love to help. Just want to say thanks for watching my Tucson Housing Market Report. If you got value out of it, do me a huge favor and give me an internet high five by liking it. If you have any questions or comments, go ahead and comment below. And for more awesome videos about living in Tucson, your Tucson Real Estate Connection, subscribe to the channel. And if you hit that bell button, each and every time a video comes out, you'll be notified. In the meantime, make it a great day.